Hi tech audience, in this video I am going to compare the Redmi Note 10 Pro with the Poco X3. Hope you will find this video helpful, and if you find a mistake in the video, make sure to comment down below. I'll feed your comments so that everyone find the accurate information they are looking for. Weight: the Redmi Note 10 Pro 193 grams, Poco X3 225 grams. Protection: the Redmi Note 10 Pro uses Gorilla Glass 5 and the Xiaomi Poco X3 also uses Gorilla Glass 5. SIM slots: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and the Poco X3 both have dual SIM slots. IFE rating: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both have IFE 53 rating for splash and dust. Display type: the Redmi Note 10 Pro has AMOLED panel while the Poco X3 has IPS LCD panel. Display size: the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a 6.67 inches display, which is same for the Poco X3. Resolution: the Redmi Note 10 Pro has 1080 by 2400 pixels, which is also same for the Poco X3. Display features: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both have HDR10 support, both have 120Hz display, 395 ppi for both, 85.6% screen for Note 10 Pro, 84.5% screen for Poco X3, 450 nits subtype brightness for both devices. Operating system: the Redmi Note 10 Pro is running on Android 11 out of the box, while the Poco X3 is running on Android 10 out of the box. Chipset: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both devices have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 732G. Selfie camera: the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a 16 megapixels of selfie camera, while the Poco X3 has 20 megapixels of selfie camera. Both devices record 1080p up to 30 frames per second on their selfie cameras. Rear cameras: the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a quad camera setup on the back, 64 megapixel of primary lens with f1.8 aperture, 8 megapixel ultra wide with f2.2 aperture, 5 megapixel depth with f2.4 aperture, and 2 megapixels of macro with f2.4 aperture. On the other hand, the Poco X3 also has a quad camera setup on the back, 64 megapixel of primary lens with f1.9 aperture, 13 megapixels of ultra wide with f2.2 aperture, 2 megapixels of macro with f2.4 aperture, and 2 megapixels of depth with f2.4 aperture. Recording on the rear camera: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both devices record 4K up to 30 frames per second. Speakers: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both devices have stereo speakers. Headphone jack: the Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both devices have a 3.5mm headphone jack. Sensors: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both devices have side-mounted fingerprint sensor. Battery: the Redmi Note 10 Pro has 5020 mAh battery, while the Poco X3 has 6000 mAh battery. Fast charge: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both devices support 33-watt fast charge. Network: the Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both devices have 4G network support. Price: the Redmi Note 10 Pro launched at $219, while the Poco X3 is now also available at $219. RAM: Redmi Note 10 Pro and Poco X3 both have two RAM options, 6 gigs and 8 gigs. Storage: both also have two storage options, 64 gigs, 128 gigs. Thanks for watching. Like this video, and if you find any mistake in the video, make sure to comment down below. I'll fill in your comments so that everyone find the accurate information they are looking for. Subscribe this channel, and as always, I'll catch you in the very next video. Till then, take care of yourself.